Gemini, you and I need to talk, darling, because I have your cards pulled out in front of me for this weekly tarot reading for June 2023, and I see you guys have been dealing with quite a bit of BS, especially from folks in your life. But before I get into this tarot reading and the details of it, let me let you know, right now, Gemini, when it comes to my tarot readings, general tarot readings, I like to cover both bases, whether it's your social life, platonic or romantic, or if you're interested in your career and your everyday. I cover both and how you would translate these cards for both sides here, because I acknowledge not everyone cares about the same thing, Gemini. All right, so let's just get right into this here. If you do want to support me, the best way to do that is just give this video a like and subscribe, darling. All right, and so yeah, let's just get right into this here, Gemini. I'm going to be showing you these cards in a moment here, but I feel like you guys have been just dealing with a lot of disappointments with people. I feel like people have been disappointing you. People, it's like their one job that they have, Gemini, if we were to call it a job, it's like the one job that they have is just like to treat you like a normal person and to not make things more complicated. But I get this sense of where it's like, see, certain people can't help but be jealous of you. There's certain people in your life that, like, even if they're your friends or especially like family members and stuff, Gemini, there's this sense of where I don't know. I would just be suggesting for you right now, Geminis, to just steer clear of folks right now. You know, if you're having some successes or some wins in your life, kind of keep it to yourself currently, because I don't know. I just get this sense of where folks are really just trying your patience here. So let's get into this. All right. So you understand what I'm saying. All right. So Gemini, your first row, we have the Moon, the Two of Cups, and the Five of Swords here. This to me is reading off as an individual who, hasn't really shown their true colors. All right, I feel as if this is a person that they may tell you they have their best intentions for you, and they may have started out that way, Gemini, but it's like, I don't know, there's some, with that moon energy, there's something that's going on internally with them. Something's boiling with inside of them. It's like a family member where it's just like, you know, on paper, your father's supposed to love you, Gemini, and, you know, be proud of you, but they end up being your biggest op, right? They end up being your biggest hater type of thing there. And so, to me right now, Gemini, I would be translating this as a sign of where it's just like, don't be really relying on folks at this time. This is really a time of where I think it's just more valuable to just kind of focus in on just your own personal things. Let people kind of do their own thing and get over themselves, because I do feel like this is a temporary type of energy. This might be a person that just has a lot of crap going on. Maybe bills are stacking up. And because of this moon energy as well, I don't think this is something like, you're not aware of how this person, like the struggles that this person is going through, Gemini. And so if you were aware about it, then you'd be like, oh, okay, you know, I'll leave them to their own situation until they figure themselves out. So again, I personally don't see this as like a long-term thing. I feel like this is just like having someone in your life that is just going through a dark personal period, and because they're just so deep in their own crap, it's impossible for them to really be that good friend, that good lover, that good family member towards you right now. So it's kind of like a message where it's like, I just suggest for you, Gemini, to be like, you know what, deuces, I'm not going to be entertaining this right now. You figure yourself out, and then when you're ready to come back to me mature and normal, then I'm available. But until then, you're going to go do your own thing, all right? Because your spiritual girl, am I losing my voice? It's my second puberty, honey. Yeah, I just feel like for you, Gemini, your spiritual team is really trying to bring to your attention like something that you should specifically focus on. All right, and this is something you already have been dabbling into, but there is this message where it's like they want you to make more time for this right now, Gemini. And this is where we get more so into the career aspect in your own personal projects here. I do feel like for you, Gemini, there's certain seeds that you have already planted. So this is not stuff that's coming in out of the blue. You know, maybe you started having like an idea of like starting a business of some type, Gemini. And so you started doing some research. You know, you may not have like the business name and the logo and stuff, but you already have, you know, the seeds have been planted for you here. And it's something that you know, this is not just like a temporary, just being like, oh, you know, I'd love to work at that one mall or a gas station, what have you. This is like, we're talking about big dreams, right? We're talking about stuff that you want to do for the long term. So this is very much so personal projects of your stuff that you really just care about. All right. And so Gemini, the reason why your spiritual team seems to have made it such a point and be like, hey, you know, there's some type of current disappointment, girl, please focus. My disappointment right now is my camera. All right. With that Four of Cups there, it's like there's a sense of disappointment in your current situation, and then your spiritual team is trying to hand a cup to you, and they're unable to have you see it because of what it is that you're currently having to be or what you're being distracted from here. All right. There's this message here, Gemini, where it's just like other people's problems with you are not your problem. It's their problem to be figuring out and unpacking with themselves, and not just trying to involve you into the drama as well. Only things that, again, yeah, the main message I get here is like you need to make more time for something, and the only way you're going to be able to make more time for stuff that is important for you to have that come into fruition, Gemini, is that you need to just cut away at stuff that is serving as too much of a distraction, too much drama here. All right, you may love somebody, you know, you may love a family member, you may love a friend, but right now they're at a place in their life where they're in their own journey, they're doing their own thing, and it's just not your burden to bear to help them come out and figure themselves out. All right, that, you know, living our own life is a full-time job. You can't possibly have people expect for you to also save them and help them live their life. All right, I do feel like the best word I could summarize your message here this week, Gemini, is practicing some solid boundaries here, because I think it's important for you to focus in on your own seeds so things can start developing in your own life here. And I'm not saying, Gemini, that you have been in this place of a rut or anything in that manner, but I do think it's your turn. I think it's your turn to be able to start having things come into more fruition for you when it comes to your career. I think it's your turn to, you know, place yourself higher up on the totem pole of priorities of your own personal life here. All right. Now, Ace of Cups coming in here. All right. This is a card of new love, a new opportunity finding you. All right. And so even though we have all this yucky gunkness, right, I don't want to be too shady towards it, just because, again, we didn't get a single card of finality here. You may feel called, Gemini, to cutting someone off permanently and blocking them. And that's your tea. All right, that's your life to live. And on a personal level, honey, I love keeping that block button hot, honey. So I completely understand it. But I will just say, like, I just feel like this is just certain folks in your life. You need to be like, you know what? Pause. You know, you do your thing. I'm going to go do my thing over here. And then we can meet back up at a later point in time. And so, Ace of Cups coming in here, right? New opportunities going to be finding you, all right? And I feel like this is more so like a foreshadowing of if you were to make more time for your seeds of that Seven of Pentacles. Does that make sense here? All right? And so if you were to allocate more time and energy into that, you know, you would have a breakthrough. And what I'm getting, like the impression that I'm getting is like you have like a tomato plant, for example, but this tomato plant hasn't grown any tomatoes for a really long time. And you're like, all right, is this actually a tomato plant? Am I wasting my time? What am I doing wrong? I don't know. I feel like there's like a major, like this is like major breakthrough energy that I see for you. I also see this potential of, for those that are looking, Gemini, to have like a new social situation coming into their life, all right, a new relationship coming in, but it's unable to fully make a breakthrough because of like the crap that you're having to deal with previous relationships, if we're going to pull the cards from that dynamic there, right? And especially with this Five of Wands, my least favorite card in the tarot deck here. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna be very blunt with you, Gemini. There's just it's very apparent to me that someone doesn't have your best interest at heart currently. All right. And rather than internalizing it, or rather than trying to figure out why this person doesn't care or anything like that, kind of just see it from this place of being like, you know what, you go through your struggle right now, and I'm going to do me, right? Even afterwards, we have the Page of Cups for you, Gemini. All right, this is new love. Like, again, this is just like an enhanced version of this here. All right, and so I really do feel like for you, the end of June going into July, like you're gonna be pretty busy in July. I feel like for you, this is really a time just to be welcoming in some new energy. The impressions that I get is like, you know, maybe you're in a room and the air has gotten stale, so you have to just like open the door. And that's what I know that's like a little bit of a weird message here, but it is just like, yeah, what is currently around you is stale. So you need to like bring in some breath of fresh air, you get what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to find the proper word for it, but that's the only phrase I can think of for you right now. But yeah, ultimately here, Gemini, overall pretty solid here. To be very honest or transparent in this, I don't really see too much going on in your social life. Personally, I do see the opportunity for those that make a lot of time in their priority in their social life to have that happen, especially if like the seeds you have planted, perhaps you'd recently joined like a new community or started something that is involving other folks, you know, maybe playing a game or starting school, new work or something in that manner. There, I do see the sense of if you make it a priority, that's what would further develop there. But I really do see overall for you, Gemini, just like making more time for you so you can actually start having some good news to wake up to rather than constantly waking up to other people's problems with you. All right. And so your oracle card for today is the first quarter moon in Aries, stepping into your power, Gemini. Ooh, stepping into your power. I mean, just very much so in alignment with this tarot reading here. Final thoughts that I have for you, Gemini, is that excuse me, or I keep on chugging water between readings, so I keep on having some air. But final thoughts that I have for you, Gemini, is that this is just time for new energy. I think it's really important for you to just put a pin on people in your life, a pin on just things that keep taking your energy, and just making more of your own personal projects your priority here currently. I'm trying to again give these folks some grace when it comes to the people that just don't want the best for you currently. I do feel like this is more so just like their own internal insecurities and stuff like that. But like, obviously you make the choice that you want to do with that, because I do get this message of some of y'all just fed up, and that's okay. You know, if you're fed up, block them, honey. Right. But you know, we didn't get like a 3 of swords, 10 of swords. I mean, we did get the 5 of swords there, so it's kind of like but yeah, they didn't even get like a death card here, so it's like it just feels like a very tense time. Like people in your life are just very tense, and the empath that you are, I feel like you might end up taking on other folks' energy, and it's like it just wouldn't be of service to you and like what it is you're trying to accomplish. So yeah, this is the weekly tarot reading that I have for you, Gemini. Hopefully something in here resonated with you, and I'll talk to you, darling, sometime in the near future. Bye, Gemini.